What is going on, people? Welcome back. Johnny here, and it's time for some more Dwarfs. I do much appreciate the comments. My mods do work, dude. I'm using them. If you need help with them, head over to the Discord. I will try to figure out how to make a mod link too. Apparently that makes it easier for folks to get all of these mods. But it's not something I've tried before, but I'm sure it's not complicated relative to some of the other shit I've pulled off here. So, regardless, back at the beginning, we're working on adding another Thane to the hold. That'll be the third. You could pretty much make everybody a Thane if you really didn't want anybody to do cleaning and plant work, but we don't have any prisoners anymore. They have all recruited, sitting on quite a few people. I want to say around 30 to 32. And we have a lot of work to do on this new throne room and bedroom for the Thane. I'll get busy on that at some point here. We've bought another dragon orb. I'm going to spread those around. I can probably keep the whole Undermountain warm if I selectively place them. We do have a wedding on at the moment, so Chaco and Peterson are going to tie the knot. And everybody is happy to be celebrating that fine occasion. I don't know why they're not drinking all the beer. Maybe I should, oh, they are. I should put a shelf in the party room with some beer for sure. Anyways, either way, this is going to be fantastic. Everybody should be happy. Kaza called Jory's mother a giraffe. Well, that's a real jerk move, Kaza. But anyways, we do have some magic we're working through. These recurring spells that you need to cast once in a while, it's just kind of hard to remember. This game needs little reminders and notes you can pop in, pop up, and then close. Just if there was a little tab for notes. Maybe there's a mod for that, but would be most useful. Urik's really unhappy because he's hungry. So, okay, I'll just draft on draft. He'll have himself a meal. Still not super stoked. Suffering tobacco withdrawal. A lot of these rugs, and they're not worth a ton of cash. I think I'm just going to end up spreading them around. I think the direction I'm going to head in with this is to get the wealth to 1 million for this hold, map, faction, whatever. Get the wealth to 1 million, see if we can make it, I don't know, 30 or 60 days. I think probably 60 without getting wiped out, and we'll call it a win. Because we're never going to get even 100,000 gold. We've been making it somewhat of a focus for a long time. Urik here went on a corpse obsession, but Gotrik used some magic to snap him out of it before he dug up a body. So there you go. We do have a trader visiting, it looks like, and that's another bedroom. So there's a few empty bedrooms at this point, and we will continue to acquire people. I keep telling myself I'm going to be more picky with whom I acquire. I'm going to try and buy improved crossbows and improved weaponry and sell the basic stuff. This was a dwarven trader. And we don't really get too many of those. Mostly we seem to get ogres. Occasional empire, but not many dwarfs. I don't know why that is. What is wrong with this dude? Everybody is such a crab here. Hauling and cleaning. Morrison the pugilist. I don't know. Morrison might be on his way to a Thane ship here, I believe. You do want to pick people that aren't doing valuable cleaning and hauling tasks before you go and do this. So anyways, there you go. There's the third set of armor and the third unique weapon. And Morrison will happily, no doubt, put those things on. So I'm going to take this brazier out of here because we got the lighted pillars now. Morrison will have himself a new bed. And another Thane is declared. You do have to kind of be careful. They're going to want to hold court, and they will spend time recreating. There's that armor. Although I should have took the cloak off so you could properly see it, but whatever. They will spend time just sitting on the throne, not doing shiza. It's called ruling. So it does take away some of their time, some of their abilities. But the boost you get for being a Thane and the magic equipment is phenomenal. So, well, we found a bunch of tin. We really need sulfur. I can tell you that because if we want to continue our mining operations and exploding the land so that we can put some human settlements in, it's going to be desperate. There's a manhunter pack of trolls at this point. I don't believe I have anybody close enough. Yurik, he's smoking a cig. He was having withdrawal before. Well, why don't you grab that cig and run outside with it? We could just sacrifice the traps. We lose so much material. That's probably the number one thing we lose material on, is rebuilding traps over and over every time they get smashed to bits by mostly animals too. I would say if you could see how many things have perished on the traps, it's going to be mostly animals. Oh, Morrison is not a slow dude by any means, so he must have some boots of walking or something on. Boots of speed. Anyway, so there you go. There's that. Yeah, and we're getting short on some materials. We do have plenty of tin. We do have plenty of copper, but that's no reason to be wasteful at this point. And we don't have to worry about needing the traps in place right now. Wealth is about 770-something thousand there, because those trolls are going to take care of any raiders that show up. So it's time to lay out some more planning for the human settlement. We did buy a magical lantern. I should just make a ton of those. This is where the king's area is going to be. I have to do it in sections though, because we have to put up some columns to support the ceiling, else we're going to be in a bit of trouble. Let's see. It is the beginning of summer, so we should be getting lots of harvests in yet. Ambrosia. I need to start stockpiling ambrosia. It's a bit of a problem that they're using it all for beer, and I really want to start making magic items, and many of them require ambrosia. So we no longer need to feed the animals what we were before, aka potatoes. So Stoneheart is going to see about drinking this social potion. This will increase the likelihood of successful holding court actions. So, okay, now level 6. We'll probably try and track down another potion or two. And those dwarven, grudge raker guns really do a number on our own base. I could do something about that. I'm always worried someone's going to get shot to bits there. We did find more copper over here. Yeah, copper not in short supply. 42 river trolls yet. I had to move this wall out of the way because when we stripped all the carcasses for their clothing, things overflowed into that dead space behind the wall. It was not going to take up terribly long to mine this out. It is going to take quite a while to get this thing up to a proper level of beauty. So you have to get it to 200 there. See, look, Gotrik's ruling. Boom. Just sitting on the throne, passing the time. Which is fine. At some point, I'm just going to use all of his magic points up. There we go. There's a brown Stowie horn. Of course, it's stuck behind the damn wall. It doesn't look that good. That's the problem when you overflow. Make big things that overflow their cell. And they overlap with other stuff. It's a flaw to my mod. There's a dead mare we can eat. Whatever it's worth. Alright, looks like the trolls have finally had enough and they're going to bugger off now as well. They're also hungry, apparently. Maybe they're not buggering off at all. They're just looking for food. Looks like the whole crew's bailing. Yeah. Good. That's enough of those. We should have let them in and slaughtered them for the troll hearts and all that. So I had to put in some floors first thing because I wasn't sure I'd be able to build the floors under the columns. That's it. All dwarven research is done. There's a few things we need to do for Empire. I'm going to have to do walls, and I'm going to have to do doors, probably sturdy doors, but whatever. I'm going to do some holding of court here by Stoneheart. So 62% that it'll be okay. Slight chance it'll be great, which is phenomenal just in terms of the mood. It's such a different game than my Beastman game was. Somebody else now. Gotrik's gonna hold court. I wonder if that timer could be Could be tweaked a bit because clearly they're all on the same timer for that event. Nice, massive, lighted column, thin. I still have a note to do some updates. It needs to be more obvious what you need in the throne room, I think. And the fact that we ended up making multiple pillars of each type kind of confuses things. And the code is really specific. The configuration, so like what you have to have is really specific. I'm not sure if you can hear that, but my neighbor is shooting a gun out the back of his house right now. I tell you. And those birds are chirping because the window's open. It's not a RimWorld effect. It's finally nice here. I'm going to try and enjoy it. All right, there we go. So, floors are going in. I'll do some kind of pattern. Yeah, so we had an awful and an okay, which doesn't balance each other out. Morrison's now going to have a go at it, but social skill 11. It turned out great, so there you go. Dude went to bed then, and everybody piled in his room to eat. So we got +8, but -12. I don't know, whatever. Now, we have some mad critters. What was that noise? I really didn't pay attention to it. Oh, yeah. So, mad beasts. Raynor, do you think you really want to go out there, friend? Oh, he's just actually luring them onto the traps. These guys at least have pelts that are very valuable. There you go. Not much of a threat when you got a solid trap corridor in place. I feel like this hold is relatively secure. I'm hesitant to say unbreakable because it would just take a nice group of Skyfallers to come in force. Like if we got a massive bunch of Minotaur Skyfallers, our armor goes a long way, but some of those weapons just do so much damage, it's going to crack through the armor like nothing. So, but outside of the Skyfaller thing, no one's getting in the front door, right? It would be kind of fun at the end to do a test and just spawn like the biggest raid you can spawn, like 200-300 people, if the game can handle it. But it's, again, with the flame weapons and the explosives, I don't think it's much of a threat. Anyways, and then as we do get Skyfallers and I see how things evolve, they are working on expanding this area where we're going to build for humans here. It's hard to keep the black powder in big supply since I can't find sulfur. Anyways, yeah. As we get raided by Skyfallers, we'll pay attention to how those things play out and try to do everything we can to mitigate potential future issues. I don't really want to be that close to my freezer there. I need some space, but that's not a good spot. I guess I can take over that space across the hall. I feel like there's a food issue now where we have too much food. Look at these new sculptures that Dino just finished. They are freaking amazing. And rugs, columns, this is coming together nicely. We need a throne yet. And it's a king's throne. This is going to cost us some gold. 50 gold, in fact, which is kind of a lot. But 100 silver. Gromroll, too. That's a very pricey item. But again, we're trying to get wealth up, so it's perfect. Unlike the Beastman game, where we were trying to reduce wealth at all costs, in this situation, I'm doing my best to try and run the wealth value up. Because that's what we're going to call victory, right? I've had this gold sigil sword I keep forgetting to equip as well. Every time a trader comes, I see it. I wish I had more jade. The tribals sometimes leave you enough jade that they have tons of it, but I'm not getting that. Maybe I've made friends with all the tribal factions that would do that, because it's not happening. So, alright, we're, I believe, ready for another round of explosions here. Let's clear all these chunks out, otherwise they're going to get destroyed. I can just shove them out here, though. Not that we really need the chunks, but whatever, the more the merrier. At some point, I might go bananas doing flooring. I was thinking about laying some carpets in the hallways of the hold, but I honestly like the stone better for the dwarfs. So, all right, there you go. So we're at 177 for impressiveness, which doesn't quite cut it. But there's the dwarf throne, And otherwise, I think that room might be ready. There's a copper dowie chandelier. That's the first one of those I've built. They had some beauty. All right, here we go. I'm going to start doing this on the right side as well, I think. Pow! Now, one concern I have, we have to take this kind of deep because we need to be able to block this area off for skyfallers. So if skyfallers do land, we don't want our human homes to be burned, sacked. So I wonder if I could put a turret in there. Maybe that'll discourage skyfallers. I don't know. Yeah, so it tells you over here, you need it to be 200 impressiveness. We're not 181. We have statues and rugs, and you can't put beds or anything in there. That's not going to make the throne room happy. We'll just keep stuffing crap in here until we get it to 200. That's pretty much what's going to happen here, as best as I can tell, because it's going to take a while. I also want it to look nice and symmetrical for what it's worth. We are going to decorate all these walls. They're going to add to the impressiveness as well. So, why not? This will be the bedroom over here on the right, and he'll have a little, or she, whoever gets to be promoted will have an antechamber. I might promote Gotrik. He's been the star, the day one fella. So, but that's a maybe. We'll see. If I get another really crappy pawn that's good for nothing but would make a decent leader, isn't that ironic? Or at least evidential of how things work in the real world. Hey, we found some rubies over here. Some resources, but not the ones we needed. Is the issue. Like, rubies are great. I could probably make a ruby. I wonder if I could. I'd have to double check. Oathstone, and a ruby oathstone would be pretty cool. Probably add some significant beauty in there, but now that I already have two, I could pop those babies around in different places. Alright, looks like we're gearing up for another round. So I'm going to go further left, and then at some point we'll rework that firebox we have going on the right. And that open area, we'll see if we can take that over as well and put some human homes in there. So as is typical, boomalopes continue to blow up on our traps. That's pretty much going to happen nonstop for quite a while. I can guarantee it. So, Jabba's Life Hide, 120 beauty to the room. When we do up the walls, it really adds almost nothing. It's very minimal, but just on principle, we're going to do it because we have the manpower and the time, and we want everything to look awesome. Things are deteriorating away in storage outside. We're also making armor. Titanium, Empire, good armor. We need to make a bunch of Empire helmets as well at some point. A million things to do. It all goes into making this as awesome as it can, right? Regardless of that, it's time for me to go today, guys. Please leave me a like, leave a comment. I read them all. I respond. Make your way into the episodes. Thanks for being here. I do love you all. And shall see you later.